y'all. I support y'all 100%. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead. Come with it.
I don't align myself based off of color. I've been saying it since day one. I've never changed. I rock with people based off of the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Okay. Everybody that's black for me.
Now, when it comes to traders and people that reject their heritage, reject their identities, and go with other nations and try to be an individual and don't connect to their people. See, these other nations don't really operate like this. This is a trait and an identification of a certain people. And why is it an identification of a certain people? Because this is one of the curses to a specific nation. And this specific nation has traits that they would have that would identify them, because nobody else would have these traits. Nobody else would be doing this towards their people. And so let's go into these traits and these identifications, because you have people doing things they don't even know why they're doing it, and they thinking that they're getting demonized or criticized, when this is just something that's beneficial for identifying a certain group of people. And people is going to have tendencies to do these things because money is involved. And so let's get into some of these instances in historical records of these people. Now, first, let me get into Judas Iscariot. Now, Judas is the most popular individual that had these problems, and most people understand Judas. Here it says Luke 6:16, and Judas, the brother of James, and Judas Iscariot was also, which also was the traitor. Look at Luke 22:48. It say, but Jesus said unto him, Judas, betrayest thou the Son of Man with a kiss? So he kissed him to identify who he was, so the people could grab him and put him in the prison. But let me go back up, because this was the key of what he did all this for. Here in Matthew 27:3, it say, then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself, and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders. So the trait with betraying always got to do with some money. Okay? The betrayal always got to do with some money. Let's go into this traitor situation. 2 Maccabees chapter 10, around about the 22nd verse. But let's get 21. It says, but when it was told Maccabeus what was done. Now Maccabeus was the leader of the Israelites at the time, because the Greeks had took over almost over the whole world, and then you had the Israelites trying to keep sovereignty over their homeland, but the Greeks wanted to come and take over. So you had the Maccabees and his brethren was holding it down. And his first name is Judas. But he's not like the Judas that was with who they called Jesus. He wasn't uh, like him. He was totally different. It says, but when it was told to Maccabeus what was done, he called the governors of the people together and accused those men that they had sold their brethren for money. You see, this is what these people do, and set their enemies free to fight against them. See, 22 it says, so he slew those that were found traitors and immediately took the two castles. You see, the traitors got put to death. See, Maccabees wasn't going to let them survive. Now, look at this is what happened. Maccabees 1 prior to that situation, 1 and 11, it said, in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. You see, they let the sorrow or whatever the nation and their brethren was going through get them to go make a alliance with the enemy. And see, this is what our people do, because it stems back to money. And it goes back to the curses, because look at the curse that was on the nation. Verse 54, it says, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. See, he's not going to get along with his brother. He's going to reject his brother. And toward his wife of his bosom, he's going to reject his wife. And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Why is he rejecting all these people? Why has he got evil in his eye for his family and for his nation? Because the brethren go into the nation, but the wife and children go to his family. Why is this? Why is the evil coming out of this man? 55. So that he will not give any of them of his flesh, of the flesh of his children, whom he shall eat, because this is why. Because he have nothing left him in the siege. Because he's a broke, homeless Negro. Because he's a broke, minimum wage working with no pay from the slave master Negro. This is why he turns in this manner. This is why he ends up being a traitor, because he's trying to get money. His focus is on money. And look at why the whole nation is blind. This is why the whole nation is blind, because you have traitors. Hold on. Let's get this one first. Jeremiah, let's see, 6. I think like 24. No. Jeremiah 5, Salakia. 20, 26, and 27. This is why they do what they do. For as among my people are found wicked men, they lie wait as he that set snares. They set a trap, they catch men. 27. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore they are become great and waxen rich. See, this is why they become traders, because they're chasing money. The money is the reason they trying to become traitors, and the majority and the main reason why our people become traitors to their own nation is because of these group of men. These group of men blind the whole nation and has blinded the whole nation to what's really going on because they chasing money. Look at verse 10. It says, his watchmen are blind, they are ignorant, they are all dumb dogs, they cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Here go to point in 11. Yeah, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough. They are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. See, he looking out for his people, for his situation. That's why he say, oh, I don't get along with none of my family. I don't get along with nobody. And they are all ain't in agreement with what I'm doing. And I have to align myself with people that's looking to come up and looking to get money and looking to get rich and looking to be a millionaire. I have to align myself with these people because the watchmen of his people, created an atmosphere where he could be like them, chasing money. You see, because he said he came up in a so-called Christian background. That means you was a pork chop eating pastor convinced you and your little daddy and his family that y'all was individuals in the world. And y'all don't deal with the descendants of slaves. Descendants of slaves ain't got nothing to do with y'all. They what you call it? Trash. And y'all don't deal with trash. He gonna make it to where y'all can come out of the hood of Detroit and be what you call it, be come out of the trash and go hang with the superior uh dominating nation that got y'all in captivity. Y'all can go hang with these peoples and be on their level because the people that's in the trash, you leave them in the trash and go hang with the other folks. Because Pastor Porkchop told them that they just some individuals, they just a color, they just black peoples. See, and he feed into this colorism crap. See, just because you a color, that don't change the fact that you got a daddy and you come from a bloodline, man. And you keep rejecting the bloodline, you're gonna get put to death. Now look at let's go to Isaiah 13. Because I want to get to some of this before I run out of time. 13, hold on. Let's see here. Is it third? Oh, here it is. See, this is what they thinking they gonna, because this guy, he what's the guy name? His uncuts. I forgot the guy name, but his the title of his video or his channel is Uncut. But I don't want to butcher his name, but I know Uncut is a part of it. And so the dude pretty much through the spirit, he wasn't even on the subject that I'm on. But through the spirit, he said when the generals get together and take these peoples over, he gonna point them out and say he was one of the ones that was selling us out. He was one of the ones calling us trash and being a traitor to his people. See, and he just don't know through the spirit. That's Bible prophecy. Look at Isaiah 13:15. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. See, every one of these traitors, what did Maccabees do when he found these men who were selling their own brothers out for money and setting the enemy free? He put them to death. That's just what's going to happen to these traders that's chasing money. See, they thinking the dollar about to drop, the people about to go into war, the dollar about to inflate, the money ain't going to mean nothing. The Bitcoin done decreased 50%. Their whole kingdom is falling. And a ignorant descendant of slave, they won't listen to their brethren who telling them the truth, and they'll go chase money. You chasing 30 pieces of silver, when we finna get a whole kingdom. We finna be Bill Gates in the world. We finna be Bill Gates to all the nations. But you chasing 30 pieces of silver in a nation that's falling. They own people know they falling. They own people are preppers and doomsday preppers because they know their kingdom is over. Their kingdom is doomed. You see, but these individuals, they'll push this Christian belief, see, that everybody's individuals and we gonna get rich while we here. We gonna get this money while we here. And God gonna bless us long as our eyes open. We only thing we focusing on God blessing us. We not focusing on the enemy. We don't know who the enemy is. We don't care what our identity is. Let's just go with money, money, money. And that's what these pork chop pastors got our people doing, and they all end up being traitors. And that's why you see them going to do whatever the so-called enemy tell them to do. They run up in the doctor's office or the hospital or whatever institution that the enemy got for them, and they run and put their life on the line, lay their life like Isaac was on the sacrificial table, lay their life on the line for them, and let them put the dagger in their hand and sacrifice their life to their God. See, that they enemy wind up being their God, and they'll put their life on the line for their God. But I'm gonna leave it there. Um, this is the whole point of what people is trying to deter these people from doing. Stop trusting. Let me end with that. This is a commandment. This ain't stuff people just got an opinion about. These are commandments. Look at what it says in verse 10. Never trust your enemy. Never trust them. See, it got nothing to do with character. It's facts in real life that people is dealing with. And you worried about somebody's character, but their character is showed that they're your enemy. So you is the fool. You talking about I only trust people character. People can give you a character of smiling and nice words, but at the end of the day, they're your enemy. Look at verse 11. Though he humble himself and go to crouching like he your friend. See, yet take good heed of him and be aware of him. He is your freaking enemy. Look at what is in 16. An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw you in a pit. See, this is what these Negroes chasing money don't understand. You can't reject your people for money and think it's going to work with your enemy. These other nations is your enemy. All nations that is not on the same page, they warn against each other. People are not crossing the nationality line and not looking back to their peoples. You the only one that's doing that. They don't convince the traders that this is a situation. Christianity got y'all thinking that people leaving their nationalities and coming to some kind of character group, some group of people with good character. It's not about character, it's about nationality. And if you don't understand that, you is going to be finished when the war of nation rising up against nation, kingdom against kingdom. That is going to happen. That's not a fantasy. The person that the Christianity people who they supposed to be following told them that it's going to be an all-out race war going on. And you idiots don't even listen to him. But this is who you're supposed to be following. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the true peace of the elect worldwide. The blacks, Hispanics, and Native American, descendants of slaves, scattered around the globe. all the children of Israel. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.